Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Miss Bailey's Classroom here on YouTube on Miss Bailey's Classroom channel. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing, my friends. Thank you for the phone calls, the WhatsApps, the conversations. Yes, in the classroom, I'm going to invite some of you to come and have some of these conversations that you're having off air with me. Not calling any names as usual, but some of you, yes, you should come on and have this conversation. Anyhow, thank you for the feedback on the last episode. I am happy that some of the information could be relatable. I am very pleased at the feedback. As you can see, my face is lighting up because I promised my bestie that I would take a crack at this a long time ago. Channel was created from, I think, 2022, thereabout, when I started the whole promise, but never uploaded any videos. I did not want to be in front of the camera. I'm just adding a few information here. I don't really post things about myself on social media and those things. But my friends, especially my bestie, she passed last year, especially my besties always say, Chan, no, you need for the TV, Facebook, radio, something. You need for out there. As well as a few of my other friends have also shared, girl, yeah, you always a encourage me, you always a big way up. You always you not care who people be. You just want to know say you can help or you can give some advice and I just you that. So you need to do something. Put yourself out there. So this is me trying, and for all those who are encouraging me, I appreciate it big time. Thank you again. And for all those who we're meeting via internet, we have never met physically face to face. I thank you also for your support. People from other countries, me know, hey, listen, it's a busy woman. So me know people have time to do other things. Them could have spent them time and do other things. The little 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes. I did one, I think the longest was about 20 something minutes that you share with Miss Bailey. Me appreciate it. Thank you. No. But now stop say thanks. You know why? Because it just goes to show that my friends as well as myself believe that there are things that we can discuss in the classroom that people can actually benefit from. And as I grow with you and you grow with me, then we will start meeting and, put things out there. Anyhow, part two. I did part one of parents, and some of my friends are hilarious. Yes, Bailey seriously believes a picnic must have manners. Yeah, you see me, I smile with the topic, but the last topic about children must have in manners is an issue that is plaguing Jamaica and probably other places in the world because these children are being raised to be disrespectful. We not draw the line like our parents draw the line because we believe that we have to resort to corporal punishment. No, we don't have to resort to corporal punishment. We don't have to. We not have to. But if it is that this is your child or you're the guardian of this child, yeah man, them for know what go on. They must understand themselves. And we as parents, as adults, as guardian, we need to understand our position too. That Miss Bailey I tell you now, per Miss Bailey's classroom. There is absolutely no reason why it is we can't go back to the village style. Yeah. Where the village where the village raised the child. Me couldn't pass my mother church sister them. Worse the pastor without a greeting. Or the man was sell at the shop down the road. The mechanic. The lady cross the street without a greeting. Because everybody in the community know we as children. So because we are children, and worse, we are Miss Bailey Pitney, we are come out a good home with mother and father in the household. We are Miss Bailey daughter, Mr. Bailey son, and we for come out a road for give your parents bad name, it will never happen. Because trust me, there are consequences. And these children want to be raised with a perception that your unruly behavior, your disrespectful behavior, your your lack of regards for law, for order, for principles can go unpunished is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You have heard it here on Miss Bailey's classroom. It is ridiculous for us as a society to raise children to believe that everything is all right when you break the rules. Not even in a God kingdom that is possible. Because there are principles that are laid out for us, and those principles are not optional. It's the same thing you're living in Jamaica or you're living in another country. There are laws that are laid out and they're not optional. These laws are not optional. It's like driving down the street. In Jamaica, we drive on the left hand side of the road. So if you live in the US or you live in another country where them drive on the right and you come down here, you drive on the right hand side, there are consequences. Me not have to spell out that one day. Me not have to spell it out. You know what happened? So if it is that you are the parent and you have laid out principles, concepts at home, and the children should abide by these, may you should for consider some amount. May you should, but in my house, it's a must. I remember when we were growing up, and by the way, today's topic is, as I said, it's a part two of the last topic, which was children must have manners, and parents, please try your best. You're not going to perfect it. There is no dictionary where you can go and define some of these concepts, but the book, the Holy Bible, the guide. No, no, this is not even about Christianity. The guide gives you certain power as the parents, as the guardian of these children, and how you should grow them. And as such, I'm not going to stop referring to the guide, which is the Bible. Because my mother used to say, we are going to put the fear of God in our own. Because if you can't hear, you will feel. And a part of that was not for us to be abused, but for us to understand that she is a no nonsense woman. When it come on to certain things, she will laugh and talk with you, feed you, find the best of clothes to give you, find the best of food to give you. But you see, when it come on to certain things, there is no wavering. Nobody no for come her yard, come tell her, say, I pity them, they road I walk naked. Me talk about Jamaican style of raising kids now. Nobody never come here yet, come tell her, say I pity them, I want naked. Nobody never come here yet, come tell her, I pity them, tell her, say I pity them, dirty. When I still good, she work hard for that. My father is a man of principles. There are certain things that you don't come to his yard with. Now, man of your drove in a out, him house. You come to which daughter? Mm-mm. She not reach her age there. The boy and boy can't come in him house with no illegal nothing. Which house? Under Ufa father government. My father raised my sons and myself in a very simple way. My mother was the Taliban. I'm not afraid to say my mother was the Taliban. The reason why I say my mother was the Taliban is because we're afraid of our mother more than we're afraid of our father. While daddy will have a conversation, mommy I rain down thunder. And she had draw lightning like Zeus. So we grew up in an inner city community. Violence all around us. And listen to me, the Jamaican way I grew up in, you see where I'm going out there, so? And of you. The real Jamaican parents, we could grow children in the belly of the beast and they don't come out to be beasts. That's parenting. Whatever is going on out there is not for you. You are my child. All of the Jamaican them will understand that terminology there. International people, if you understand it too, no problem. Big ups to you. We can raise doctors, lawyers, we can raise teachers, we can raise plumber, electrician. We not sideline nobody. Nobody will not sideline. In the belly of the beast. And people look at us and they are in awe. Oh, this is Jamaican, yeah, with very little resources, turned out this child to be this way. Some of the time when our them touch the international stage and people come down here and interview the parent, you realize that the parent didn't even do half of the school that the child did. However, this is now Dr. So and so, PhD, mother barely finished primary school. What does that tell you? Our parents in Jamaica were grown and resilience to come down the generational line. For parents now who are wondering what will be the outcome for all your hard work, the outcome for your hard work is that you invested your God given right as a parent and a guardian for this individual, and you have done your societal duties to make sure that you bring up an adult, you raise a child that can turn around and be of value. That is your benefit of value. I saw the news the other day of the shooting that took place downtown. I think it was in front of the funeral home. I don't want to miscall the name, but there was some guys in a car that went to, I think, rob somewhere, and the police got wind of it and they shoot up downtown. And I think they kill must have about four of them or so. I don't really pay attention to news, people. Trust me, because news coming like horror movie. I don't know why Jamaica wake up now. We can all live good, We can all live good. Anyhow, over the news in my parents' room. So I'm gonna go check out what go on. The sister came on, and when the sister came on, I was giving her update. And Jamaicans, you can correct me, and others who may have seen the news can correct me. Her words were that, listen, a long time me I tell him to left the badness. Now, she may not be a biological parent, she's his sister, but I would classify her that she would have taken on parental responsibilities for whatever reason. She would have taken on parental responsibilities to be guiding her brother. And not a drop a tear out her, yeah, Because so she would have done her part in trying to say, turn from the badness. She said, I'll invite my church with me. Yeah, invite my church, tell him to come, seek a different life. But our statement was, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. There's only so much we can do. Now, let me just explain something to your parents. Parents, you see how much time you use the word. Me now classify people as biological parents, or may classify people as adopted parents. Parents are people who can guide the younger generation. That is why we need to go back to the village. Jamaican style of raising picnic. I remember that time when I went next door with my son. We just moved to this neighborhood and I went next door to my son. And I greeted the lady and she greeted me and she gave me her entire name without even telling my son that he should say Miss so and so. Automatically, when he responded, he said Miss so and so to her. And I looked down and I smiled because me not fi ask you more than once or tell you more than once that you must remember that these adults, you put hunger on them cup. It's not that you're trying to make your child submissive, but there is supposed to be, and you can all draw me over the call if you want to, but in our culture here in Jamaica, there is supposed to be handle on the cup of person's name, especially when there is an age gap between you, not because you are submissive, but because it is a sign of respect also. Nothing wrong with that. All of a sudden, everybody want to be Janice, everybody want to be Pamela, everybody want to be Dorothy, everybody want to be clever. No wrong with that if we are friend and company, you know. But to imagine a 6-year-old child looking on this 80-year-old woman that could be his grandmother, great grandmother, and his mom goes over and greet her and say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And she says, "My name," and I say, "I'm Janice Bailey," and she says, "Oh, my name is Cindy Brown." Just a short one name now. And I say, "Okay, nice to meet you, Mrs. Brown." And she says, "Oh no, you can call me Cindy." I say, "Okay, no problem. Nice to meet you, Cindy. I'm Janice." And my son looks up and say, "Hello, good morning, Mrs. Brown." Me now go correct him and tell him, say, if you go call her Cindy, you know. She extended the courtesy to me as an adult. He now recognized in himself that him for say Mrs. Brown. She acknowledged the Mrs. Brown and said, "How? What a pleasant young man, and what is your name?" And him introduce himself. People in Jamaica wouldn't need to stop intervene upon the right things them and promote the wrong things them with the kids. Because someone wanted to intervene as a call her Cindy. The Cindy was extended to the adult, not the child. It's the same thing when them come to the classroom, right? You call your mom by your first name at home. Now, when you're a household, if you call your mom by the first name, that's fine. When I tell somebody how to raise for them pitney, may I try show you a way how you can prevent certain problem leading forward. Especially in a Jamaica here, so where we see that the children are adopting some real unruly principles and they want to bring it to strangers, they want to bring it to the schools, they want to bring it to the churches. And those are places and institutions with certain principles that are not going to be bending for your child, you know, they're not going to be bending for your child. So, in order to safeguard your child and yourself, in order not to end up in the coal, as as I would put it, you need to start having certain understanding of where you are and who you are as a parent and what you're establishing with your child. It's not a must, but it is a requirement. And the requirement is that if you're going to come among others, you're going to dwell with others publicly, your child must understand social behavior. Or we raised people in a Jamaica back in the day, not never wrong with some of the concept then. My mother's church sisters were Miss and Mrs. So and so. Some of them who taught us in Sunday school, we would call auntie. And I still see some of that happening now in Jamaica, where when they go to the preschools and stuff like that, they call them Auntie Claudine, Auntie Janelle, Auntie so and so. Even though they are not biologically the aunts, we are expecting them to care for them like a relative. So the auntie is okay. I remember, I remember when I was in high school and I went to, I'm going to call the name of the high school. Only they are set for here, don't it? But there were nuns there, right? And my parents are not Catholic. But because there were nuns there and I was going to a Catholic school, there were certain principles of the Catholic school that were required of the students that if it is that you don't want these, you can always take your child somewhere else. I am trying to say on this episode of Miss Bailey that Jamaica have a culture of raising children with manners. Where is it going? Go back to the high school. Mass was kept every Friday. My parents are not Catholic, but this was a very good school in Jamaica. I did my common entrance, pass at this school. Mommy happy sending me to this school. When I went to home after the first couple weeks and some start talk about father where father teach we in a mass. And of course my parents I wonder, you know, where all of this conversation going because none of them is Catholic. But at the end of the day, they saw no wrong in the fact that the school I was going to believed in God. Of course, we went to Sabbath school because my father is Seventh day Adventist and my mom is Church of God. You see, there's only one God. So you see, all I know we want to fight around and quarrel and carry on. There's only one God. And here one of their children going to a Catholic school. Anyway, I remember saying to my mom that they make the sign of the cross. Because, we are young people, they make the sign of the cross as a remembrance to God and the sacrifice He made for us. And my mother said, well, we don't make the sign of the cross because we don't practice idolatry and stuff like that. I said, where you get that from, mommy? She said, no, we don't make the sign of the cross at our church. So if you want to go the Catholic way, do it when you're around the Catholic. We don't do that at our church because automatically after being in an environment for a while, some things become automatic. At the Catholic school, when they're about to pray, they say in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and they make the sign of the cross. So sometimes when I'm going to church with my mom, that triggers it in my head when I hear let us pray. I start to make the sign of the cross because now I'm in a Catholic school and this is being done repeatedly. I'm saying this to come back to the concept of principles. Part two of Children Must Have Manners and Parents Know Yourself is that principles cannot be flexible because you are having personal feelings over how you think a child should be raised. In other words, then, manners cannot be flexible in who, where, or how you go about raising your child in society. We have an unwritten, some people might write it down, an unwritten expectation of our children, regardless of them being our biological children or not. People can tell me if Miss Bailey wrong or right, because I live quite a very exciting and adventurous life, and I've traveled quite a few places. And no matter where I go, I just expect children to be manageable. Me never yet look upon a pitney and expect them to be disrespectful to me. When it come to me, it's a surprise. Because when it come to me, I am saying the first thing, I'm want to know if I the same with you, the first thing that comes across my mind, who is raising this child? I remember I was watching this thing on TV and the pitney run up and fire two kick on the mother. I switch the station because automatically me I say, all right, there might be issues with the child and they're working it out, as in the child may have special needs. I'm not talking about the exceptions. The exceptions are understandable. I was in a doctor's office and there was a child there that had autism and she kept on screaming and she kept on throwing a tantrum. And by the time the mother calmed down and realized what was happening, the little tablet that she was watching, it was um, it was running out of charge, and that is what was keeping her calm to be able to focus and not be a disruption to the place. And I saw she was trying to hurriedly turn on her phone so that she could give that phone to the child while she asked for some charge. There were other people, I want to this picnic, I want to this, and other people becoming agitated. But based upon how I saw the child responding, I know that there was some special need going on there. Not just because of my training, but because I have volunteered in environment that had children with special needs. And sometimes when they're out in public, it's not that you want to drown your kid in a video or you want to drown your kid in a phone or anything like that. In order to get them to be focused and not disruptive, sometimes this is what the parents have to do. I mean, I tell you, say, easy. Easy if you have a special need child out in public. Now, those children are not being disrespectful. Those parents have a very hard time maintaining control, a very hard time. And people sometimes want to judge too quickly. But not talk about the exceptions. Them the parent them, may I tell you, say God given us special blessing as a parent to manage that. You understand? And to manage that kind of behavior. Me I talk about normal people. Me I talk about, I want me say normal, no disrespect again. Me I talk about kids that do not have any special needs, that are just blatantly rude because you have made exceptions for them. They curse you. And you say, "Ah, why you want to say that? Why you want to do that? And you laugh and you kekekeke," as they would say in Jamaica. And then it went from that small thing at home until you're out in public and you say, "Come here." No, not coming anywhere. Walk on. Ta, 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 ta. And somebody say, "Your mother is calling you. Don't talk to me." And then ta, 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 past the adult. And then you start turning pale in public to think that, and then now you want to act out in public. I remember, I'm going to share this with you. I remember Mama did I teach. I can't know name of the school. I did hear say one of the pitney. Mother did come there and he shot her mother back across the face. And the teachers were in shock. Primary school, listen on. So you know, so they may pitney in the past 12. We say again, with all due respect, I am not interested into Mello in that one because he did it because it has been done before. I just saw me see it. Because them say practice become perfect. Where I do at home, I come out in a public come do. Because or we raise children in Jamaica, all lessons, the first lessons about manners are taught at home. Respect are taught at home. And then now we take you out. So my little recollection in how our mother they deal with we. You see, when we got church, before we even enter the church, we did hear you say, "Don't walk up and down in a church. It's not your yard." So we know so we can't in and out of church when reverence is supposed to be had. We hear, listen, church is not a canteen. I don't want to look around because she did sing from the choir. And on down there eat and I make a nice and a disrespect the service. You understand me? So the snack or whatever I wanna have, after when church done, it's not a you can or if you want to or um kids, you know what to do and no instruction. Mother give you a guideline. It's not your yard, so you're not gonna do this. It's not free for all, so you're going to do this. It's a house of worship. I got church one day and we say, we take away the cheese stick and something from the child, handed it back to the mother, and said to her, "That's enough." That child and his mom, who was sitting in front of me, she had a bag of goodies, and the pastor was preaching, and the child was digging around in the bag. She took out cheese stick. Well, I remember if she I Pitney take out cheese stick, crunch, 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 two out it now want to take out juice, sip, 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 now want to put it down on the bench. She dig up in the bag and she finds something else and she rattle through it and every package makes this crinkling sound. And this child is just going the extra mile. And the mother is saying, all right, finish now, finish now. And all right, and the shake off mommy and still a go on same way. Me just take up everything off of the bench in front of me. Said, "Mommy, put them back in the bag." And I just looked at the child and said, "That's enough." And I said to the mother, "That's enough." When the pitney hear me, I never shouted, never screamed. She looked straight at me. She turned around. And for the rest of the service, every minute she just take time look behind on me. Minute, so look, I look. I said, "That's enough. I need not more." All the mother do was just pop at the things in the bag and zip it up. There is a difference between just being a parent and being a parent that knows what they expect of their child and that the child should deliver on that expectation. I'm not say me perfect, I'm not say una perfect either, But the task is to continuously try and make sure that they are meeting that expectation. My mother was resilient. This message is resilient. Cause for me, me there one brother they were get trouble. And my mother was resilient. Say, look here, anything it take to bend the tree, we're going to bend the tree because you're not going to do it the way you want to do it. And you're not going to raise yourself in my house. So she kept going and going because we grew up in an inner city. Badness now, none of this now come to none of uno. Yeah. Me, I make sure, say, me grounded in a God, grounded in a the guide, and grounded in a what I want and expect of my child. And I'm just extending the same thing to you, parents. Believe it or not, all me really would I want after all the put them in a Jamaica to turn out good. So we stop put them in a prison. We stop see them on the news. We stop hear about the abuse. We stop, my God, unnecessary the devil them off of the pit them. And as parents now, if we not ground with self and encourage ourselves and go at it every day, we're going to lose them. So let us get together and put the village back together. I know everybody out there will say certain things to you. I say it because we think you're doing a bad job. Some of us are saying it so that some of you can open up and take in the village. Start accepting help. Some of these children are a handful and you need the help. Yeah, the police are there, the youth clubs are there, the scouts are there, the girls guides are still there, the army is still there, there's still cadet there, there's still church youth clubs there. Oh my God, if I start going on, yes, take advantage of some of these. There are psychologists, there are guidance counselors there are so many things there. Take advantage of it. Let's get going. Let's raise these children to have manners. Basic. Anyhow, this one is one of the long ones. Thank you again for tuning in to Miss Bailey's Classroom. Thank you again for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Stay tuned for part 3. Love you. Big up yourself.